Hello, so I wanted to talk about the fact that spiritual workshops and energy healing and channeling workshops cause a lot of harm. Like, they do a lot more harm than they spread helpful healing. And so I wanted to talk about why that is and what you can do to be a channeler or energy healer in a safe way. And so my first reason, or my first point, is that when it comes to who can participate in the workshop, there's no vetting system, and just anybody can join. However, when it comes to being a channeler or an energy healer, it's a requirement that that you've been doing your own healing beforehand. And so if you join a workshop and you haven't been doing the healing beforehand, you're going to end up spreading a lot of your pain, and all of your pain really, to your clients, and the practitioner won't be able to go whoa, hold on here. Meaning your teacher, the practitioner, sorry. And so it's important that you first heal your own trauma before diving into any kind of practitioner work when it comes to helping others heal. And being a medium or channeler or Akashic record reader or animal communicator, plant communicator, you need to do your own healing first. And the biggest reason why is because when you do your own healing, you're actually able to access your intuition a lot easier. And having access to your intuition is the most important thing to be an energy healer, to be a channeler. You need to be able to have access to that. And when you do your own healing, you automatically become an accepting person, because when it comes to, and compassionate person, when it comes to healing, energy can only be in two states, either in resistance. And so when something's in resistance, it's going fast, and it's like moving through you at a really forceful rate. And it's trying to find something it can butt heads with, right? It's trying to find something it can just hit and then stop. But with acceptance, if it's just going and there's nothing stopping it, it's just going to zoom right through you at a really quick rate. And if you have a lot of resistance in you and a lot of that, you're going to end up meeting your clients with resistance, and so they won't be able to heal properly or let go of their pain or trauma or wounds. And so that's why it's so important that you're able to also be in a complete state of fully acceptance, not just I'm only accepting sometimes and I'm not other times. It's you need to be entirely committed to being in an accepting state and in an accepting kind of mindset towards your own self before you can heal other people. Because when you work with others, your own stuff ends up coming up to the surface, and it's hard when you don't have the skill set or tools to be able to manage yourself and manage your own internalized resistance and internalized neglect towards your pain, because that's really all resistance is neglect to your pain. And when you meet your resistance with acceptance, you do so with so much love and compassion, and you do that because you love yourself, and you do that because you love your pain, and you do that because you love your fear, and you do that because you love your anger. And when you let it go, you become free, and you need to be free to be a practitioner. And you can't be free if you have all of these burdens from your trauma and from your childhood and from your limiting beliefs clinging onto your shoulders, holding you down. My second point is that oftentimes the people that are running the workshops aren't actually doing the healing work that's a requirement to be a practitioner. So they end up teaching you false things about the universe, false things about energy healing, false things about how energy moves, false things about nature, false things about how life functions. And that's a really detrimental thing because and the reason for that is because they're still so disconnected within themselves, so they end up preaching what they know, which is disconnection. So they end up giving you misinformation because they aren't fully grounded in their true selves, and so they're grounded in their pain, and they're grounded in their fears, and they're grounded in their resentment, and they're grounded in their hatred. And you can't heal with that kind of energy, and you can't heal with disconnection. So it's important that the person teaching you is connected to their true self and to their higher self and to their hearts, and is able to be in that same accepting space, so that then they can show you how to do it. It's like they need to model that kind of right behavior, or they need to model that they need to model the required state to be in for you to then also join them and to learn from them, you know? And so that's another reason why workshops are super harmful. The people that are running them aren't usually ready to be practitioners at all. And another reason why workshops are so detrimental and so harmful is because they tend to lean a lot into love and light culture, which is really just spiritual bypassing and dissociation and disconnection from reality. And so, yeah, that's a problem. It's super problematic when, again, they usually do this because the practitioner that's teaching you guys isn't grounded in themselves and isn't grounded in reality. And so they just preach what they know, which is, again, disconnection. And they end up teaching you that the world is inherently divided, and like there's masculine and feminine energy, and there's light and there's dark, and divine feminine is good and divine masculine is good, but wounded feminine is bad and wounded masculine is bad, and light is good and darkness is bad, which is not the case, because you know what? Everything in the universe and everything in nature is all inherently neutral, and it's created with that neutrality. No matter what feeling you're feeling, it's neutral, whether that be anger, whether that be sadness, whether that be frustration, it's neutral. We are the only ones that judge something as good or bad, and then we believe that so hard that we end up putting so much resistance into it. And when we claim something to be good or bad, we put more resistance into something. And you know what? There's a big secret about the darkness, and it's the fact that the most profound and true love is found within there, and it's the most unconditionally loving energetic force, I suppose, because with the light you can only scratch the surface and you can only see what's right on the top, and so it's really superficial. But with the darkness, it's called the depths of the darkness, right? And so you go all the way down there, and it's so loving there. It's uncomfortable, but it's loving as hell, man. Like, you go down there, and I say down there, you just turn around, really, and you go into the darkness, and you don't see you have no idea what you're looking at. And in order to go through the darkness, you need to be carrying so much love and so much acceptance and compassion with you to leave unscathed, right? It's like you walk through hell with ease, so long as you carry the weapon of love within your heart. And if you walk through hell with anger and resentment and resistance, you're going to leave battered and bruised. It takes a lot of strength. It takes a lot more strength to walk through the darkness with ease than it does to walk through the light with quote-unquote ease. Because whenever you walk through the light, it's always because of a fear of the darkness. And so when someone claims themselves to be a light worker, that's a really big red flag when it comes to picking an energy healer for you, or picking a channeler for you, picking any kind of practitioner for you. That's a big red flag, because that means they aren't able to access the profound love and profound unconditional love that's needed to actually bring forth the healing that you need. So that is something else that you need to watch out for and keep in mind. And so another thing is that workshops give you a lot of different techniques, but a big thing with energy healing is you need to be able to access your intuition. And when you're not, like when you're so focused on getting it right and making sure like you're memorizing everything correctly, you aren't actually grounded and you aren't actually connected to your intuition, and you're following like a regimen, and no regimen will ever bring forth any kind of healing because it doesn't flow and it's structure. And structure isn't bad, but in this case, it's not the most helpful, because that kind of structure creates so much stress within your own mind that you end up just passing more resistance onto your clients. And so it's important to just follow your own intuition and develop your own kind of, I guess, sequence to perform energy healing or channeling, because that way it's a lot more natural to you, and you'll be able to connect with your ancestors more. And that's another big thing, is that most of the techniques that you do learn are not from your ancestral lineage, and they're appropriated from a different kind of culture than your own. And so that's super problematic, because so long as something isn't part of you, you won't ever be able to fully connect with it, because it's inauthentic. And you won't ever be able to heal yourself or someone else with something that's inauthentic to you, because healing requires authenticity. Yeah. And so I set up my coaching sessions the way I do, with healing your trauma first, then developing your more intuitive sequence, your own personal sequence, and then we dive into the more professional side of energy healing and being a practitioner for a reason. I do that because I want to make sure that the people that I work with that want to go on to being energy healers, I want to make sure that they are doing so safely. Because without taking the steps that I've mentioned, you won't be able to safely be a practitioner for someone else. And there's a lot of practitioners out there that are not safe practitioners, and I want to make sure that the practitioners that I work with and put out there into the world are actually able to make a change and make a difference within the universe, and make a difference within the world, and make a difference within society. And so if you'd like to change the world or your own world, please feel free to book a session with me. I would love to work with you. And if you'd like to hear more crazy content, subscribe, like the video, comment, share it with your loved ones, share it with your hated ones, share it with the people you love, share it with the people you hate. Just share it around. And if you like daily content, and if you'd like to get to know me a bit more, and if you'd like to get some, I post written tarot readings on my Instagram, which is pretty fun. So if you like that, go check that out. And then on my TikTok, I post daily. I post a midday mindfulness video. And so we do a nice quick little meditation. And then I also post every day a sound healing. So if that interests you, go check out my TikTok, go check out my Instagram, go check out my website. And everything is in my About section on my YouTube profile. You have a nice rest of your day, evening, night, morning, or life if this is the last time and first time you ever see this video.